Hi, I'm Jim with Speedy Home Buyers, and this is a video about being a property scout for Speedy Home Buyers. So why does Speedy Home Buyers need property scouts? Well, you wouldn't believe it, but all the houses that are for sale or quote for sale aren't necessarily listed with a realtor or have a sign out in front. So what we need to do is identify houses that are potentially have a motivated seller, and what we've experienced is houses that are vacant or abandoned sometimes will have a motivated seller. So the property scout can give us the identify a house that is vacant or abandoned or a motivated seller situation, and we'll contact the seller if we can to talk about purchasing that property or make them an offer. So our small company doesn't have unlimited time to drive around neighborhoods and write down the addresses of vacant properties, and so that's why we want to recruit property scouts and compensate them for the effort of pointing out these properties that are vacant or abandoned.
So let's talk about what a vacant abandoned property looks like and what it doesn't look like. So first of all, we're looking for motivated sellers. Let me repeat, motivated sellers, regardless of whether the property is vacant. However, let's look at the characteristics of a target property. Vacant or abandoned, it could have high grass or poorly maintained. It could have uncollected mail or newspapers, and it could have code citations, and yet all those things could be the case, and it looks like a vacant property, yet you're thrown off because the neighbor could be parking in the driveway of the vacant house as a crime deterrent. Okay, what is not targets? It has a realtor sign. If it's already for sale and it has a sign in front of it, then that's not a target. It's bank owned, and we'll identify those as having property management asset signs posted on the doors. Also not target is a severely damaged property, or another one is about to be torn down and developed, which means this house would be on the edge or surrounded by acreage. So we'll show you some examples of that. But let's make some important distinctions here. We are seeking motivated sellers, and vacant property is just one signal or clue that there could be a motivated seller. So saying that in another way is an occupied property could have a motivated seller. So again, if all else fails, scout for motivated sellers. So this is how we're going to do it. Step 1, access the Scout Property Info page on the Speedy Home Buyers website in order to submit information. Now the quick and easy way to figure that to remember the address is gowithspeedy.com, and then you can navigate to the page where you submit property information. So you want to save that in your browser favorites so you can't forget it. So submitting information through the website is preferred for both Speedy and for the Scout because it's easier to track the connection of Scout and the property, so that we can make sure we pay the right person the finder's fee. Option number 2 is the email to info@speedyhomebuyermd.com, and then finally you can call the hotline at 410-567-5444 if in a pinch. So we don't want the website to become, or web page, submitting it through a web page to become an obstacle for you getting us a vacant property. However, it is the primary option and is going to work better for all. So here is the web form that sits at that address, and I'll show you how that works here shortly. But let's talk about what is a vacant property. So just looking at this photo, hey, that could be a vacant property, could have high grass. So if you suspect that it is, then get the address and send it in. This is another one that could be a vacant property. Is this a vacant property? Well, it looks like it's got boarded up windows, but is this a target property that Speedy Home Buyers is looking for? Yes, no, maybe, How about this? Probably not, because A, the damage is too extensive, and or a dozen other investors have already inquired. So that's probably not one to send in. How about this one? Maybe. The key word here is code enforcement. If you read the tag on the door, there is code enforcement. So for those properties that may have a citation on them, we want those addresses because we can contact the owner. How about this one? Probably not. Absolutely not. How's that? What's this one? Look, it's got high grass. It looks pretty nice house. Yes, but is this a fairly new house on the edge or surrounded by a large tract of land? Therefore, the house is awaiting a tear down in order for a subdivision to be developed. That's a possibility. How about this one? Or these? That's a no. How about that one? Check out the satellite dish on the top of the house. But I'm not even going to dignify this one with a response. A couple other ones, yes. Hey, that looks like could be a vacant property. The one below, no, there's obviously issues there. Looks like a sinkhole. If there are boarded properties up and down the street, then we're not interested in that one. Okay, this one, for sale by owners, maybe. Generally, we're not interested because it's already, I guess, advertised. However, if you want to go the extra step and call the owner and ask for a price and submit that through the website, however, not a priority because they're already marketed. But what you can do is, if you do call and ask for the price, you want to also listen for signs of motivation. You may even get to the point where you ask, what will you do if it doesn't sell? Therefore, that will elicit some sort of response from the seller, and they may say, oh, I've got to sell, or I don't know what I'm going to do if I'm selling, or I got these bills I got to pay. So those are things, FSBO. There's another one, if it's posted and it's bank owned, that'd be a no. We don't need to see those because we just can't buy them from the bank. And if it's going to be, if this property is ever going to be sold, it's going to be listed first with a realtor. How about this one? Hey, look at that. What is interesting about this property? There is a tag on the door. And most likely this is going to be a bank notice that it's bank owned. And if you see there, it says this house has been winterized and things like that. So that's a bank owned property. So this is going to be a no. How about this one? Look, there's another tag on the door. But this one says ordinance violations. So that's a code violation. And those are the ones we do want those. So send those in, probably. Here's another one, yes, unless it has no roof or walls or is extensively damaged. So this is a code citation from the health department. Okay, here's the online form demonstration. So here's at this website that I'd been giving you, and you'll have, but ultimately you can get to it or navigate through it once you go to the website with gowithspeedy.com. And up here in the top is will be information for property scouts. But basically what it comes down to is when you fill out this form and you don't have the owner's name, which you may not or probably won't for most of the time, you want to put in scout for the first name and then put your name as the in the last name field. Put in your email address, put in your phone, and then make sure down here in box number 9 it says, what is your situation? Why are you selling? Please put in here entered by scout, whatever your name is. Because one time if we get a call from the seller we're going to go into our database and we're going to swap out first name and last name with the seller's name. So we want to make sure that when you submit it, we have this information in there because it's a required field, but also we have this in here, it carries through, so we can trace back, and if we purchase that, we can compensate the scout. So you're going to continue to fill out all the fields that are required, or in yellow. So you're going to fill out the street, address, city, state, zip code, and again, whatever is required. If you're not sure how many bedrooms, just put in 0. You may not know that, and that's okay, but it's a required field. So we're going to go all the way down, just hit the yellow, answer the questions. You know, you'll be how did you hear about us? You're a scout. And then input in, you know, either zeros or question marks in these other fields, and then hit submit form. And then that's how it gets into our database and we track it. So with that said, summary. So ultimately we want to scout for motivated sellers. However, vacant properties, as we talked about, and abandoned properties are clues or signs that there could be a motivated seller there. Next, gather the address and property information. Next, take pictures if possible. Would be great if we had at least a front of the property picture. Take it with your phone. You know, you can get an account with Google Drive, and you can upload it to Google Drive and send in that link. Like, for example, if you do that, we want to put that link in the field here. So you could say pictures here, and then you have your Google Drive or any other online storage where you can send out a link and share. That's where the photos would be. So use that if you can. Where we were taking pictures, enter property information into the Speedy web page form, and then Speedy will make the best efforts to purchase the property. So here's a final caveat. Not all vacant properties have a motivated seller. We hope that's the case. We wish for it. However, it's not always possible. So it could take 20 or 30 or more addresses submitted to find a motivated seller that Speedy ends up purchasing the property and compensation is provided. However, it also could take 5 properties. So thank you very much for watching this video. Thanks for considering being a property scout for Speedy Home Buyers, and please give us a call if you have any questions, and good luck. Thank you.